So today we're going to be talking about Terrifier 3, which is obviously the third movie in the franchise, and we're eventually going to be getting a fourth movie. I don't know when that's coming out, but whenever that film does come out, we'll obviously talk about it on the channel. But yeah, like I mentioned, we're going to be talking about Terrifier 3 in this video, and pretty much what I want to talk about in this video itself is, a couple things that really stuck with me when I was watching this, because whenever you watch a movie or whenever you play a video game, read a book, listen to a certain song, etc., so on, you end up having like a few things like really stick out to you when it comes to, yeah, I really like the lyrics of that song, I really like that certain scene from a movie because it left such a big impact when it came to everything moving forward for that said franchise. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today when it comes to, a couple things that really stood out to me when it comes to this film. So this should be fun because I've been having a blast talking about the Terrifier series on the channel. I do want to make more Terrifier, so trust me, just because I covered the first 3 films doesn't mean this is the end of Terrifier on the channel. I do plan on making future videos when it comes to discussions or just anything else that comes to mind when it comes to Terrifier. So we'll definitely get there whenever we do, but I don't want to wait any longer because I want to talk about Terrifier 3. So let's just dive straight into that right now. So the very first thing that stuck with me is obviously, and this shouldn't be a surprise to no one, is Art the Clown. And this wonderful character is brought to life by David Howard Thornton. This character is the core of Terrifier 3, and his presence is impossible to ignore because as a silent mime-like killer dressed as Santa Claus, Art ends up combining humor with horror in a way that's both fascinating and also very disturbing, because his exaggerated movements and playful gestures, like that mischievous grin that he always has before an act of violence, it always ends up drawing you in even when you know you should just look away. And I found myself captivated by how he commands every scene without speaking one word. And David's performance is remarkable because he conveys so much through physicality alone, because every glance, every gesture, it just feels intentional, as if Art is performing for both his victims and the audience themselves. And I was just struck by how he can make you laugh with a silly expression one moment, then leave you horrified by his cruelty in the next. And it's that balance that keeps you on edge, wondering what he'll do next. And I've seen plenty of horror villains, but Art's ability to be both entertaining and terrifying is something I haven't stopped thinking about. And what makes Art so memorable is his unpredictable nature, because he's not just a killer, he seems to take joy in all the chaos that he creates, like he's playing his own twisted game. Because in Terrifier 3, his Santa costume amplifies this by turning a symbol of kindness into something so sinister. And I kept thinking about how his presence feels like a mockery of everything good, which makes his actions hit even harder. And it's just unsettling to watch a character who's so evil yet so engaging, and that contrast alone is what makes him linger in my mind. And I also found myself reflecting on why Art is so compelling, because as a viewer I felt drawn to him, almost rooting for his next outrageous act, which ended up making me question my own reactions. And David's ability to make Art both repulsive and magnetic is a testament to his skill as an actor. And if you've seen the film, you probably understand why Art is being called a modern horror icon, and for me, his performance is one of the biggest reasons Terrifier 3 is so unforgettable. And the second thing that stayed with me is, of course, Sienna's story, and she's portrayed by Lauren Lavera. And while Terrifier 3 is known for its intensity, Sienna's emotional depth caught me off guard, because this film is set 5 years after the events of Terrifier 2, and the film shows her struggles with the trauma of her past encounter with Art. I expected a focus on horror, but Sienna's pain and resilience gave the movie a surprising heart, and her journey is something I'm still reflecting on. Lauren's performance is just incredibly moving. Sienna isn't just a typical horror heroine, she's a complex character dealing with post-trauma stress disorder having spent time in psychiatric care. And her vulnerability feels authentic, and I found myself rooting for her as she tries to rebuild her life. There are moments where her fear and strength shine through in equal measure, making her someone you connect with deeply. And it's rare for a film like this to make you care so much about its lead. That emotional connection made the stakes feel higher. And the story setting during the holidays adds a layer to Sienna's struggle. Christmas is a time for family and hope, but for her, it's a painful reminder of what she's lost and what's still at risk. I felt her tension as she tries to find moments of normalcy with her loved ones, all while knowing Art could return at any moment. And it's just heartbreaking to see someone so strong face such relentless fear, and it made me think about the toll trauma takes, even in moments meant for joy. And what's lingered with me is Sienna's resilience. She's not perfect, she's scared, haunted, and sometimes overwhelmed, but she keeps on fighting. That strength in the face of horror is inspiring, yet it's almost painful to watch, knowing how much she's endured. I ended up thinking about her almost as much as Art after I was done watching this film, wondering how anyone could face such evil and still push forward. Sienna's story is a powerful part of why Terrifier 3 left such a lasting impression on me. And of course, I can't forget about this one. The third thing that stuck with me is the film's Christmas setting. Setting a horror movie during the holidays is definitely a bold choice, and Terrifier 3 uses it in a way that's both creative and unsettling, because the contrast between the warmth of Christmas, you end up thinking about decorated trees, festive music, and Santa imagery, and the film's dark tone creates this jarring effect. It's an idea that stayed with me because it transforms something familiar into something deeply disturbing. Because from the start, the movie uses the holiday backdrop to amplify its horror. Seeing Art in a Santa suit moving through brightly lit festive scenes feels wrong in the best way. The film doesn't overdo the Christmas theme to the point of it feeling forced. Instead, it weaves in just enough holiday elements to make the violence stand out. And I found myself thinking about how this settling makes every act of horror feel like a violation of something sacred, which adds to the film's impact. What I appreciate was how the Christmas setting isn't just for shock value. It taps into the idea that evil can invade even the most joyful moments, making you feel like no matter where you go, nowhere is safe. The way the film uses holiday symbols like turning a Santa costume into a symbol of terror is so effective that I'm still picturing those images days later. It's a creative choice that elevates the horror beyond what I expected from a slasher film. And this settling has made me reflect on how horror can twist the familiar into something new. Christmas is supposed to be about comfort and togetherness, but Terrifier 3 turns it into a backdrop for fear. That contrast is what makes the film so memorable for me. Not just about the horror itself, but how it uses something as wholesome as the holiday season to make you feel uneasy. And if you've seen the movie, I bet this setting left a mark on you as well. So those are the things that really stuck with me when it comes to Terrifier 3. Like I mentioned, when it comes to Art as a character, he evolves with every single film. We've already talked about all the crazy stuff that he did in the second film. He definitely does the exact same thing here when it comes to the different kinds of kills that he does. Art is just a very bizarre character, but I love him for that because he's just very unpredictable, and I just get really curious to see exactly what sort of direction they want to take him next when it comes to these Terrifier films. And of course, when it comes to Sienna, I mean, I just love her character. I find her so incredible when it comes to just seeing everything that she's been through ever since we got introduced to her in the previous film. So it was very interesting to see the sort of journey that she went on in this film to really add more layers to her character. And I definitely will say here, when it comes to a lot of these modern horror franchises, Sienna is definitely one of my favorite new female characters when it comes to a lot of these movies coming out now. So I definitely look forward to seeing exactly what goes on with her in the next film, because we are getting a Terrifier 4. We don't know exactly when, but we are getting one. And of course, you know, using horror around Christmas, I mean, that's just a very intriguing concept because we've seen it before in past horror films. So seeing Terrifier do it and have its own little spin on it is very creative when it comes to the sort of direction that they want to go on throughout this film itself. But now I want to ask you guys, how do you feel about Terrifier 3? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Is there anything in general that you guys want to say to me when it comes to Terrifier 3? Be sure to let me know all your thoughts on this film in the comment section down below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, as always, be sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. If you guys want to follow me on my social media, be sure to check out my X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All the links to those are located in the description below, so make sure to follow me on there. I also happen to have a Discord server, so if you guys want to join it and talk more about video games, horror, cartoons, TV shows, and movies, just like how we do on the channel, be sure to click on the link in the comments and it will automatically direct you to that Discord server so you can join. Be sure to click on that bell for notifications. You guys can get updates whenever a new video comes out, just like this one. I hope all the guys are having a fantastic day, whatever the day may be, if it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.